Hey guys, this is the Free Forever report, and today we're gonna do an analysis using Bittrex. So, in short, I'm going to show you what to look for in the graph, what kind of indicators I'm using, and what kind of drawing tools I'm using, and then we. Based on that, we're going to make a decision whether we should buy this cryptocurrency or not, or wait. So I picked Dash. This is a cryptocurrency that I don't own at the moment. I used to own it before, but anyways, let's dive right into it. The first thing, obviously, you need to go to bittrex.com, and we can let's go from the beginning. You go to the start page, and then you can sort on volume. Actually, that's the default. And now we're looking for Dash, and it's in the top 10. Here it is. It's down 3.7%. This is compared to Bitcoin. So we just click on this link here once. And what we have now is, it always comes up the 30-minute chart. That's the default. So, and obviously here's the graph area. And when you have the 30-minute option, you basically see 24 hours, a little bit more, but around 1 day. I'm not too excited about the 30-minute chart, since I'm more into a, I would say like 5 to 25 day trading view. So that would make me a swing trader. If you're a day trader, you basically buy during the day and sell later the same day. Anyways, that's the beginning, and let's look at some options. I mean, obviously these are candlesticks. All these sticks are based on 30 minutes, but you don't have to use this if you don't want to. There are other options. So if you go to short here, we have candle, and this is the default, and we also have line, and we also have mountain. And line looks like this, and mountain look more or less the same, but it's a little bit more visual, I think. So this is the mountain. But let's go back to candlesticks and choose 1 day. Okay, here are the other options: 1 day, 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, 1 hour, etc. But first I will look at the daily chart. So I click on 1 day. So here's 1 day. Okay. So what would be my first impression when I just see this graph? Well, obviously the first thing you look at, where's the price right now? And it's over here, 0.69 Bitcoin. What else can we interpret? Well, the last 10 days, the price has been going down. It's on a downward trend. And before that, we had about 1 month without too much of a movement, price movement. But here we had a nice move, and that was like in the middle of June. So one thing we could do here is use the drawing tool. So up here we can select tool, and then we can click on line. So I mentioned before that we had the downtrend last 10 days. So we're going to draw a line from the top here. Click on that top, and then sort of follow the candlesticks, the top part of the candlesticks, right, like this. We can also move the graph. Sometimes I find it easier if I move it to the left, because it's just easier to interpret, look at it. So obviously this downward trend line needs to be broken. So that would be one part to look at. One other thing we need to look at is the volume. That is, these bars at the bottom here, they're all daily volumes. So right now the volume is pretty indifferent the last 10 days. But when you look at volume, you should look at large bars like these. And interesting enough, when we had a large bar here, we had a nice price movement to the upside in this case. And if we go back in the middle of June, we had a nice move here as well, and we also had a very nice volume. And then after this day, the price continued to go up. The problem is that if you want to wait for this volume, that could be too late. So it's a good indicator, but you might be a little bit behind. So that's a drawback from looking at volumes. Okay, so we have now drawn a line here, and we can now go to the studies. That is this button here. We click on studies. We have a whole bunch of different indicators here, but I'm going to show you some of them that I use. And the first one is Bollinger Bands. So I click on Bollinger Band, and here these are all defaults. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want the channel to be filled. It's harder to see the details, so I'll unclick this, and then I create. Okay, so here we go. This is the Bollinger Bands. So this is the upper band. See all this here. And this is the median in the middle. And this is obviously the lower band. So you can see this as these are based on history. So, but they are, I would say, a good tool for looking into the future as well. If we look at over here, when we touch the lower part of the Bollinger Band, we did it here, and then almost we touched it again here. So that would indicate that, okay, we tested the lower bands twice during a short period of time. So then it's more likely that the price will go to the other side of the Bollinger Band, the upper band. So always the price is always testing its extremes, I would say. So here's the median. the middle part here. But we always have these moves to the extremes. So the volume bands are the extremes, so to speak. And when you can see here, when we move outside the volume band, it's pretty likely that we go back to at least to the median. But you should not be surprised if it would fall back all the way to the lower volume band again. Okay, so but if you look at the price today, we have actually touched the Bollinger Band, which is a good sign. But we need some more data, I think. So let's go back to studies and add something else. And in this case, I will use the moving average. And in this case, I will just use the default, create. Okay, so here is the moving average, the red line here. And what's interesting is that the price has touched the moving average. It did that today, and I also did that 6 days ago. So this could indicate that we have gathered strength, and we could be about to make a move to the upside again. However, there's still one more thing to look at, I would say, and that is, if we go back to studies, we have something called MACD. Okay, so here is the MACD, and what we should look at here, these are some averages, and what we want to look at is actually when the as you can see here, the black line needs to cross the red line in this case, and unless or until the black line has not crossed the red line, basically you should not make a move. So if you look at over here, we can see that the black line crossed the red line, and that was at the same time that we had a nice volume and we had a move to the upside. On the other hand, if you bought here, you wouldn't gain much at all in the short term. So, but anyways, this showed that the price was about to stay on the upside. However, you're not supposed to buy above this area. You see this zero line here, it says 0.0. So the price has been above 0 all this time. So we're about, you could argue that we are moving towards 0. So you can see over here, we're actually below 0. And here we, on this day, the black line crossed the red line. You can see that. And also the MACD was below 0. Actually, it was not below 0 on this day, but the previous day was actually below 0. We can go back in history and see if we can find a better example. Okay, so I would pick, because here we definitely are below 0. and on this day we crossed the line and we were still below zero. So this day would have been a good day to buy for the long term, at least. And this one here would be good as well. So you don't get too many good buying options if you're going to look at all these indicators together. So if you want to be very detail oriented, you need to wait for these moves in order to make a move. So having that said, this is not a time to buy. But the best thing here would be for this, the MACD to go under zero, and maybe like in a couple of days it would do that, and then we would have a scenario where we would cross this lower trend line at the same time that we are moving up from on the MACD as well. So I would say those are the indicators I'm using, and you can also switch to the weekly. There's the weekly, and then we have to go back quite a bit in order to have a perfect buying opportunity. That would probably be around here somewhere, where we, like this day, minus very really tiny bit below zero. But on the other hand, we had a really nice move here. So as you can see, it's kind of unusual to get a nice buying opportunity. On the other hand, you have so many different cryptocurrencies, so you can also do some screening. And I think Bittrex, they have around 100 cryptocurrencies in total. So there's definitely there are definitely some cryptos out there. On a daily basis, you should be able to find some good options each day. Anyways, you have to consider that Bitcoin and Ethereum are really making pullback now. So all the other current cryptos are following along. Anyways, I hope this was a learning experience for you, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. And as always, you can find my work over at steamy.com. My name is Free Forever, and the links are below in order to go there. So that's it. Goodbye.